Hello everybody, here I have the Welly Scale 118 Porsche 911 Carrera S. And this is my newest model so far. I actually just got it and I am very impressed with it. So this is kind of a first impression take at this model. So I'm going to get into the details and stuff like that and you'll be able to hear my opinions. Now, the one thing that I notice about these Wellys is that one thing is that they're a very good value for money. So I bought this for $47. Yeah, I know it's expensive for a budget car, but it has detail and quality that definitely parallels many cars, you know, around an $80 or even close to $100. You know, it's pretty good, especially on the interior as well as some of the exterior details that are just very fine. And I'll be going through those throughout this video. I also do want to mention that with these sort of lower end Wellys, so currently there are two levels of Welly. You get the FX ones, and then which are really detailed, have carpeting on the interior, etc. And then you have the lower end ones, which are a little bit cheaper and sacrifice the carpeting and some of the finer details, like, you know, mesh seat belts or whatever. But overall, these ones are still excellent. You know, bang for the buck. So on the exterior of this particular car, we can see it's got that Porsche badge that is nicely embossed on the front. And headlight casing, which is actually supposed to be black, so that's appropriate. It looks a little bit strange to see a xenon bulb colored in black, but I looked on pictures and there is an option to have that blacked out on the inside, so that's fine. Now this feature here, I'm going to zoom in if my camera will focus on this DRL here. Now this is what kind of makes this Welly seem like a higher end model than it actually is. You look at the very fine detailing on the, like, right in with the LED bulbs, and you just realize, you know, it's just very finely done. I really like that. I hope you can see it. And along the edge, you know, not too much spacing in between. Same deal with the headlight. Not much spacing. Although, not to be too picky, there is sort of a ring that's drawn around it on the actual car, and it doesn't quite make it all the way to the paint. No pegs whatsoever. Now, because this is black, you can see my fingerprints are already starting to show up. Very nice wheels. Really are nice. They don't turn all that well. The back ones are better than the front. These are pretty consistent, but they do steer. And the wheels do turn, or the discs do turn with the wheels like they're supposed to. And the caliper stays in place with a nice little Porsche logo on it. Very nicely done. Same deal on the exterior. Very high quality headlight. You know, not much spacing in between, and it's got that nice pattern, kind of like what we saw on the DRL. Now this doesn't have a spoiler that comes up. I'm not sure how many models actually have that. And if you've seen this car in real life, you realize that you really can't see the engine anyway, but regardless, for what it's worth, it looks decent. You can see there's actually, you know, a fan pattern underneath these grates here. So that looks pretty good. Very small opening. It doesn't necessarily stay up all that well though. Porsche 911 Carrera S. Very finely embossed on there. Looks pretty good. Before I start going on to the interior, I do want to say that one issue I have been finding with these Wellys, you know, despite the amazing detail on the exterior and interior, the paint quality is not the best I've seen. There are sometimes little imperfections, little scratches, and I've noticed, you know, that even the plastic that they use to wrap around to keep the doors in place during shipping, it actually caused, you know, some slight scuffing throughout here. Not very noticeable, but if you had a very keen eye, it could be a problem. On the interior, the best way to open it is with the little tool they give you, but I don't have that with me, so I use the mirrors. I probably wouldn't do that again if I were you. Could get risky. So very nice door detail. This is an all black interior, as is one of the options that you can get. So I mean, it's not really a big deal, but you can see it does have actually what appears to be chrome painting on the handle, as well as surrounding the speakers. I'm not sure if this has the Bose option or the Burmester option. Not that it matters, you're not going to be listening to it. On the interior, you can see really nice detail on the buttons, the Porsche logo right in the center where the GPS and all the infotainment screens would be. This is an automatic car with the PDK transmission. You can see on the steering wheel it has the paddles. You can't necessarily see any of the fine leather stitching, but then again, who says they based it off of a leather car? Although I will say that the seats have the same pattern as the dash, so maybe that is supposed to be leather. All the buttons are colored in, and they do have proper logo on them. It's kind of hard to see. Probably the best angle is with the camera, because otherwise it's difficult to look in there without zooming. The keyhole, believe it or not, colors are right, and it actually has a window to keep the dust out, which is nice. Let me zoom out a bit. Windshield wipers are pretty good. One on there, and this opens up nice and easily. Porsche logo. See, even the finest details. A lot of people would just kind of, a lot of model manufacturers would ignore this detail, like the Porsche, you know, writing in there, and Welly doesn't. They actually put some effort into that. And last but not least, it is important to note, underneath the 911 Carrera, there isn't much to see because for aerodynamic purposes. They'll cover all this up. But you can see the engine in the rear, which does sort of come out of a plastic piece on the bottom, but you can see there's a heat shield underneath there with a texture, the oil pan, the exhaust. It looks pretty nice. The detail around the wheels isn't quite as fantastic. That it's just a molded plastic piece. That might have actually been done for, you know, an actual, you know, functional reason in the manufacturing process, because you get all the axles down here, whatever. But I've seen other manufacturers do a little bit better. I don't know if that makes any sense. And finally, to finish this off, it does have suspension. So in conclusion, I say if you're looking for a Porsche 911 in the 991 generation, so this is the newest one, you know, they came out in, I think, 2012, brand new, mid-year, and they're currently new to this day. An absolutely amazing car in real life, an amazing model, and this is one of the very few that you can actually get for under $100, so I definitely highly recommend it. I will say, for my viewers in the United States, it's very difficult to find, at least at this price. You can get it on eBay, but most of the time it has to be imported. I purchased this through a company called Model Car World on Amazon.com. I can't necessarily recommend them because I've only used them once, but I will say that I've had a good experience with them. The cars came very well packed, and here it is in pretty good shape. Alright, so that's all, and thanks for watching. I hope this was helpful.